Hi everybody, today I am going to be doing something a little bit different. In this video I'm going to be trying some new products, which is really exciting, and I'll be sharing those with you as I go. One of them I have actually tried out and I'm really impressed with, and the rest, well, two of them I've tried out. Oh my goodness. Start again. No, I have tried out a couple of these things, but one of them is just brand new yesterday, so I have not used it and I'm very excited to. So I have together a collection of things, some things I've not used in quite some time and I want to go back to trying them. I have got my foundation on already because I just thought it's best to start with that on because that just takes time. But I am using the L'Oreal Infallible Sculpt in Fair. I don't know if it's fair medium, I know there's only two shades of this. I really love this foundation. I think it's really nice to work on top of with other products, which is why I like to use it, because it plays well with other products. So anything else that you put on top of it, it really responds well to it. So if you use a variety of different products, then I actually use different creams and different kind of like liquid concealers and all this kind of stuff and powdered stuff, I really do recommend the Infallible Sculpt because it just really is a great foundation. So I put that on first. And actually what I've done today, which is not something I normally do, I am trying to use sponges. So as you can see, yes, I have used this one today. This is one of the Real Techniques ones. It was one of the, I think it was the Marie Curie Cancer Care, like an Easter egg type thing. It was an Easter set. And it was basically, it's an egg carton with 6 eggs in it, or 6 sponges. So it's 2 orange, 2 lilac and 2 pink. It is on sale at Superdrug. It's not on sale. It sells at Superdrug, but it was on sale for £12.50, which is when I got mine, and I had £2 worth of points, so I got these, which I love the carton that they're in. I haven't got it right here, they're actually over there because I've just sold the 2 orange ones, but I do love the lilac one. I really like this lilac sponge. Is that really daft that you quite like the colour of the sponge you're using, considering it's going to end up that colour? But yeah, there's 2 pink and 2 lilac and I really like them. On a side note, I've got the little ones, and I think this is one of the pack of the little ones, and I don't know if this has happened to anybody else's, but it's kind of got all these holes in it. They were all stored the same. The other ones haven't had that happen to it, but this one I'm a bit concerned about using because it's kind of gone all like that. Has anybody else got one of these little mini sponges and have this happen? Just a quick question, because it's not happened to me before and I do like the little mini sponges. So we're going to use some kind of newer things like the Makeup Revolution Concealer and Define Concealer. I am going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, which is in the pot. I've wanted a pot concealer forever, since the NARS one came out and everybody raved about it. And I've always wanted to try the MAC one, but just never got around to it. So really excited about that. And this was on offer for £6.99 and it was 3 for 2 at Superdrug, so that was a great offer. One of my favourite lipsticks, I'm not going to mention that for now. I am going to be using my MAC Brow sort of gel because I've not used it in forever and I really need to use that up. And then the new thing that I haven't used yet is this beauty. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. They're so fingerprinty though. And I don't want to blind you, but that's what it looks like. Basically, if you've watched my Angel Fish video that I did last week, I got a cash reward for doing that particular survey, and it came in the form of sort of like you could use e-cards or e-codes, so you can cash in the actual thing for e-codes to use online. So I did cash some of it in, and I bought this palette, so that's exciting, and that is what it looks like. I don't want to blind you, so that's kind of why I'm holding it there. But yeah, it's really beautiful. I'm really excited because I've wanted it since it came out, so I was excited to get that yesterday. They are really beautiful. And then I was watching a video by Nikkia Joys, and she was doing the top rated products on Sephora video, and she used this palette and I love the eye look she created. So I want to see if I can do that today, just because I'm not copying, I'm not following somebody else's tutorial. I just watched her do it and thought, wow, I haven't done anything like that in such a long time. I'm going to use one slightly different colour, but I thought, yeah, I'm going to give that a go. So I'm going to do that. I'm using some brushes that I absolutely love. Brow line brush from Zoeva. It's the most amazing brush for brows ever. I highly recommend it. It's just fantastic. And you can get these brushes on Beauty Bay. I think they do this one. This one is the 322. and that is the only brow brush that I will use. It's nice and firm, it's quite slimline, it's amazing. So I'm going to use that with the gel. And then I really do love this. I got this off Beauty Bay. It's a Spectrum brush, and this one is the A18. I got it when it was £2.50 in a sale. I don't know if they still sell it, but it's really perfect. It's nice and flat. It's great for applying concealer, but it's also amazing for applying Colourpop shadows or cream shadows or anything that's foiled onto the lid, because you use the flat edge. If you use the end of a brush where it's all lots of loose bristles, that's going to pick up the product, but you're not going to get a full coverage of it because it's all on the tiny ends of the bristles. When you lay it down, it'll take some time to kind of work it, and sometimes you lose the product. If you actually pick up those kind of products on the side of the brush where it's completely flat, you're picking it up on a flat surface, so when you press it down you're going to get all of that actually transferred to your eye. So that's why I love that. So I love that for concealing and for eyes. And I think that is about it, because I have waffled at you enough. Oh, and I do have a Models On eyeshadow in taupe, which is what I'm going to use to do contour. And it's so pigmented, you've got to be incredibly careful with it, because I tried to contour with it the first time and it was like, wow. And I know it looks a strange shade, because it kind of is. It's very grey, but once you have a little bit of bronzer on with that as well as this, it does look really good. Yeah, and it is light taupe, and it is one of the matte ones. And I got that in the sale. And I think that is enough waffling, and we'll get on with it. Right, so the first thing I'll do is I'll actually do the concealer. So this foundation is amazing. Again, the Infallible Sculpt. I love it, but it doesn't cover all of my redness just because it's not like a full coverage foundation. So I've got the Infallible Sculpt concealer. I love that it's in the little pot. This one's in light. I think that they could do with adding a couple of more shades. They've only got light, medium and deep, or dark. I can't remember if it's deep or dark. But they do need to add in some more shades, I think, because it is a really lovely concealer. I've used it a couple of times. But they could do with like a fair one, which would be great for under the eyes, because this one's more my sort of skin tone sort of colour. It's quite peachy. So, yes, they should add some more colours in. I'm just going to apply it with this Spectrum brush. And we're just going to tap it onto the areas where I have redness and blend out. And as you can see, just great coverage. Instantly that has just covered that redness, and it's good. Just make sure to blend it out. I am going to apply a little bit on my nose. My nose is red. I do tend to get rosacea on my nose, which is really annoying. So like with the change of the weather, and in the UK right now, yes, we have snow. It's just brought the country to a halt. Our post office, we've not had a post for like about 4 days because the post vans haven't been coming up here, because we're a little village, so you know. So there you go. That concealer for me, that has like covered everything up. It's totally amazing. It's really nice full coverage. You don't feel like you've got it on your skin. It's so light. So really highly recommend that. I've used that a couple of times now and I think it's amazing. It's, my redness is so difficult to cover. It's really nice to find a product that can actually cover the redness, because I've struggled so much in the past couple of weeks. I had the flu and I was really poorly. I was really quite out of it for about 4 days. I was just really thrown up and everything. So yeah, you don't really need to know that, but you know, and it just left me with really poor skin at the moment. So yeah, I'm still trying to get over it, and I do have some eczema and some rosacea, but that definitely has given great coverage, and I'm waffling. So I'm going to move on. Right, next thing I'm going to do is just apply some of the Makeup Revolution C1 Conceal and Define Concealer. I'm going to put this under the eyes, and I'm just going to pounce it in with one of these little mini Real Techniques sponges. I don't use loads of this, but after I showed this in the L'Oreal Infallible video, where it didn't work quite so well with the Infallible sticks, I did want to use it with a cream foundation, just to show you that it actually can play well with others, to put it that way. And who else is excited for their foundation sticks? They look absolutely amazing. So that is pounced in there, and then whatever I've got left on my sponge, I put it in the centre of the forehead, bring it down the nose a little bit to just add that little bit of brightness, because I don't like a lot of brightness there. And then something that I'm going to try today that I don't normally do, because that's what this video is about, kind of going back to things I used to do and doing things that I normally wouldn't. I'm actually going to apply this on my lids as a base, because I am addicted to MAC Painterly Paint Pot for my eye base, and I use it every time I put on eyeshadow, so I just want to do something a little bit different. And hiya, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
He's a pup.
Next, because I said I would use this in a video, I'm going to use the Rihanna Fenty Beauty Matchsticks. It's the matte one in amber. So I'm going to use this on the Bold Metals contour brush, still one of the best brushes that I own. I absolutely love this brush. I'm going to run it across the top. Oh, I didn't even show it to you. That is what it looks like. I said I'd feature these in a video. I probably will actually do kind of a comparison possibly with the L'Oreal or Makeup Revolution if I manage to get those. But I'm going to use it today in this one. I'm just going to set it down and then I'm going to put the powder on top. So...
What's the video about?
It's me trying new products.
You can't say that when she's busy filming.
I'm sorry, I'm just...
It's going back to products I haven't used in a while, using new tips and techniques, and it's also trying new products.
I like that.
Yes.
Good idea.
Have you seen me sockies anywhere, Chuck?
They're in the wash basket.
What they're doing in there?
I put them in.
What are they doing in there?
They're chilling. They're chilling in the wash basket. That's what they're doing.
Well, I need them.
Well, come past and get them! You have to excuse this because it's always a train station when I want to film a video. Everybody needs or wants something.
Well, there's 3 adults and three dogs, all in the space of about 3 metres.
3 metres. It's not good really. It's a lot of bodies in a small space.
It
It's loaded.
Here's my husband.
Puppies.
You can't see you. There he is. I'm gonna slap your little face there.
Come on, everyone.
Oh my god. Really?
Well, they've only been born a few hours.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, 8.
8 hours. That's just a few. That's no. Right, so the next thing with a very light hand, because this is very pigmented, I am going to put on that Model's Own. Little things like this particular shadow, and I've got a Makeup Revolution one as well that was £1. Great to pick up if you are kind of new to contouring and you're just trying it out and you want to see if it's going to work for you and just trying to find the right shade. Rather than buy a palette where it might be stuff that you don't use and it's a lot of money, just little single shadows like this, they're also really great to travel with, and obviously, I mean, it's multi-use. I really like the colour Light Taupe anyway. I really like it in the crease, so if it didn't work for the contour, it certainly was going to be a great eyeshadow. I really like the colour. I think it's a little bit unusual. And these ones come with a little mirror in the lid. These were in the Christmas sale, but I do believe they actually are still selling them. I think it was about £1.50, this one, so. I'm going to take the Sigma F05. That is not the Sigma F05. F05, because this is just an amazing contour brush, but I'm just going to put that lightly into the product, tap the excess off and put that over, and as you can see that's very cool toned and it has defined it. Once I put the bronzer on top of that, it'll kind of diffuse it out and definitely warm it up. But I do like the way this looks because shadows are meant to be more cool toned, and with me being quite pale, you do need to find something that will do that. Because if you use a really warm colour, it just doesn't look right. And also I am going to put other products on top of it. That's a thing to remember as well when you're contouring. If you're going to be diffusing it with other powders on top, it'll actually will kind of bring it down a bit anyway, so don't worry about it. But it's always best to work, I have found in my experience, with a light hand and a little bit of product. Don't go full in because it's harder to dial it back than it is to actually build it up, so that's definitely a top tip. But I really like that contour. I think it's actually quite a natural colour. There's my husband trying to make as much noise as possible again. Oh, I love you, Alec.
Collection of cups going downstairs for washing.
Yes. Okay, so that is the Model Sun. So yes, that's very nice. And I do highly recommend the Sigma F05. I highly recommend Sigma brushes anyway. They wash beautifully. I mean, I've had these years. They last so well. They don't shed, and they just are an amazing purchase to make. I used to think that it didn't matter about the price of your brushes, and it was like, oh, well, I can just buy really cheap ones. But once you do step up and buy things that are a little more expensive, you definitely do see the difference in the quality of your makeup, I think. I mean, that's for me a personal experience in actually trying both cheaper brushes, mid brushes. I wouldn't say these are high end. If you get like a set of these and pay about £40, you end up paying about £8 a brush or something like that. So it's kind of just looking at the price of the brush set. Great if you can get deals when Beauty Bay have percentages off, or sometimes they do if you spend £80 to get a certain amount off, like a certain amount of money. And if you're buying something for Christmas for somebody, it's well worth looking at those deals then. But they are worth investing in just because they are such amazing brushes and they do make a difference to your makeup. So back in the day, I didn't use makeup brushes to apply makeup. I had a brush. Yeah, I had a brush. So I had a brush that was for blusher, and then everything else was either fingers for foundation, for eyes. I didn't used to do my brows, and then I did get the Rimmel pencil. That was my first brow product, and then I used that. I didn't used to use eyeliner. I had mascara, but obviously it didn't contour, didn't highlight, all that kind of stuff. Just put lipstick on from the tube, so I didn't need a brush for that. And I never used to wash my brush. I don't think I ever washed that blush brush. That is crazy to me now. But yeah, it's just something that when I was younger, I didn't have anybody to kind of guide me and tell me and show me about makeup, because my mum never wore makeup. So I never grew up with that. So yeah, that's the great thing about YouTube. If you haven't got anybody around you who can help you with it or give you advice, then there is always YouTube, and there's always people on there to talk about things. And I think that's really valuable, particularly for young girls who do want to wear makeup. So yeah, so I started with that one brush. For powder, I just used the powder puff in the actual powder. Kind of horrifies me now because I never washed that. I never replaced that, and a powder could last a while. Yeah. Yeah, so, and now I do. Then I went on to like sort of cheaper brushes from sort of Superdrug or Boots, and then went up to Real Techniques. That was my first experience of like proper brushes, and I loved them. But then I moved on to Sigma, and I kind of haven't gone back from that. I have got some Zoeva brushes, and then I've got some Unicorn Lashes brushes because they're so beautiful. But very much about my kind of Sigma brushes. I have got the multi-tech from Real Techniques, which are amazing, and then I do have these ones, the Bold Metals, and I can't remember what the purple ones are called. These are like more special edition sort of Real Techniques, which are absolutely amazing brushes. I absolutely love those. So I still have those, and I still have the multi-tech, but I don't really reach for the other Real Techniques brushes. In fact, I've just sold a bunch of them because I am selling makeup, but I really never stray far from using like the Sigma brushes, really. Not being a makeup brush snob and saying, oh, cheaper brushes are no good. I'm just saying that I have kind of found the brushes that work for me, and if the brushes that work for you are ones from Savers and Superdrug, great. If you like Sigma or prefer Sigma better, Zoeva or whatever brushes you use, great. It's all about finding the right brushes for you. I think that multi-tech brushes are really great because they're a great sort of starter point. They're very versatile, and they're really great for kind of starting out, but they're great for blending. So if you're not really great at blending, they are amazing for that, but they're also great for pinpoint details. So as you start to get a bit more advanced with them, they're great for that use as well. And I'm waving this 4-5 at you, so yes, this contour brush is amazing. That was a long waffle. I'm really sorry. Right, okay, so I think the thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to avoid the eyes because I'm actually quite nervous about doing them. Because this look was quite a dramatic look, and yeah, I've not done anything like this in such a long time. I'm going to polish this up a bit. How beautiful is this? It's so stunning. The only one I don't have is the white chocolate bar one, which is, I'd really love that one, but I don't know if that was limited edition, because I saw that it was on Selfridges, but now it's no longer available, so I'm not really very sure. But I would like to get it because it's the only one that I am actually missing. Even though I do have the peach one, and I don't really care for it that much. So anyway, I am still waffling. I keep on saying I'm not going to do that. Right, I'm going to take the largest of the Real Techniques multi-tech brushes, and I'm going to go into this palette, into this colour. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on, I can't see the colours, so I'll just point at them. So we're going to go with this all over the lid, and then we're going to start with this colour here in the crease, because that is what Nikkia did, and I loved how her look turned out. So that's just my skin colour basically all over the lid, and then I'm going to take that pale light brown sort of shade. Oh, that looks like it's pigmented. And I'm just going to run that into the crease. I'm just going to use the same brush. Okay, so I forgot to do my brows, and I like to do them before I do my eye makeup. So I'm going to use the Zoeva brow brush, and I have the Fluid Line Brow Gel. I have mine in Dirty Blonde. And I do want to use this product up because I think I'm 2 products away from being able to do a back to mark. And I always like to do that. That is exciting to get a nice free lipstick. I wish more brands would do that kind of thing. See, now I don't dislike that on, and I think for a while I was just like, I'm not really very sure. I apologise for embarking. But when I put it on, I actually really like it. So, you know, sometimes we go off products and we're not entirely sure why. So it's always nice to revisit things. My husband's trying to go out and get some food, because basically we've not been able to go out anywhere for about 4 days. So supplies are running low, and that's the Jack Russell Finley shouting at him. Okay, that is the brows. What's going on up there? Oh my goodness, why did I stop using this? I don't know why I did stop using this. I don't know why. I felt it was too warm, but I absolutely love that. So there we go. Didn't mean to slam that down quite so hard. I apologise, that hurt your ears. Right, I'm going to go back into this concealer, because I see people do this, right? I see people carve their brows out, and I never do it. But I'm going to put a little bit along and just blend it out with my finger. I don't know why I'm doing it. It's just I see people do it, so, you know. I don't know if that honestly really did much, if I'm honest, which is I think why I don't do it. Okay, so back to the eyes, now that we've kind of gone off on a slight tangent there. I'm going to use the next size down in the multi-tech, and I'm going to go into the darker brown. So that brown there. And I'm taking a smaller brush because this has got to be a little bit more lower down into the actual crease here. So here, so you can still see that lighter colour above. That is the brown. These colours are super pigmented, and I love the smell of these. Right, this is the part where I'm really, really nervous. I think I need to put some powder under my eyes, because if I don't, I am going to be a mess. I'm going to use a loose powder underneath my eyes, because I'm going to use black now, and I'm very worried about fallout. So this is Ben Nye's Neutral Set. I actually have it decanted into these little pots. I love these little pots. I paid about 70p once for these from Sephora, and absolutely love them. I've got about 6 of them. I've got all of my Ben Nye powders in them, because Ben Nye powders, if you know, come in like little shaker style containers. They're not great, but they're meant for sort of theatrical makeup, so you would have something to decant it into. But I prefer to use these little pots. So I'm just gonna pop a whole bunch of powder under there. I love this Sigma Baking Kabuki, it's great. It's a really nice shape to kind of get that under. So we're going to go with the black now. I kind of feel like I do want to go and use another one of these little Real Techniques ones, the medium ones. I think because it's got the point, it'll give me a little bit more control for what I'm about to do. Which terrifies me. So I'm using the black from the palette in the corner there. And I literally have powder everywhere. Oh. Okay. And then do some on the inner eye. I'm going to use the pink shade. Well, it's kind of a champagne shade. Okay, so it looks crazy, I acknowledge, but it's going to look better. And then she kind of took the shadow brush that she had the black on and blended out those edges to soften it. And then I want to just take what's left and go over the top. I'm going to go in with the smaller of the Multi Techniques brushes. And I'm just going to go over that to add more black back in. What I'll need to do is just take the larger brush with a little bit of the brown on it and just bring that over the edge. That, I think, is pretty much it. I'm going to run some black underneath. I'm probably going to do a little bit of the brown as well. Right, I'm going to use my powder sweep brush from Sigma and just sweep away the powder. Okay, great. And the great thing about using that for me is that also is a great thing to set underneath the eyes. So, I think it does two jobs. But I actually really like that. I think that's quite nice. I would put something into the waterline, and I did kind of go between two things, but I want to use Urban Decay's Perversion just because it's the best black liner ever. Or it's my favourite anyway. And I don't want to go too heavy, but I definitely need something in the waterline. I do prefer. So that is just with a little bit of black in the lash line. And the lash line in the waterline, and I'm just going to take some of the brown. I'm going to mix the two together and just blend slightly underneath that black. I really like that. I'm going to pop some mascara on, do the other eye off camera, and then be right back. Okay, so that is that other eye done. I haven't put mascara on yet, I'm going to do that now. But I wanted to do an inner eye corner. I think I'm actually leaning towards the colour that she used in the centre of the lid, so this kind of bluey silver colour. I think we're going to go with that, and I'm going to use the absolute tiniest of the multi-tack brushes because this is great for the inner eye. Ooh, that is so pretty. I can see why she used this on the centre of the lid. I've gone for more of a champagne colour, but I think this would be really pretty. You could use, of course, the cream colour, like the matte colour from the palette for that, but I'm a sucker for that inner eye highlight, really. I like that kind of pretty. If I was going to do an eye look like this, then I'd probably go ahead and do that as well. Kind of makes me want to put that on the lid. It's just so pretty. I'm just popping just a little bit of that inner eye corner just in the centre. Ooh, that's totally lit things up, hasn't it? Wow. Now normally I would line the top lash line, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to pop on some of my MAC mascara that I'm using at the moment. You could go with any kind of colour from here as a pop of colour in the centre. I mean, so tempted to put that green and just pop a little bit of green on there. So tempted because these colours are so beautiful. You get 4 mattes in here and the rest are sort of foils, but they are beautiful foils. This gold is ridiculous. But down here you do get like 2 sort of brown colours, the ivory colour and the black. And the black is really great to kind of do lining as well, so you could actually use that as an eyeliner. I always love a black in a palette. It's really pigmented. The browns are really nice for your crease work, and then that's nice for all over the lid. Then you've got some really great colours. The colour that doesn't stand out to me too great is the purple. I have swatched these. I didn't really care too much for the purple, but all of the other shades are so fantastic. And that pink, I can't wait to try and use this pink at some stage. But I highly recommend this palette. I think it's really, really beautiful. If you really want to get a nice sort of foil shade for your lid, then yeah. Recommended, and it's beautiful to look at as well, so who doesn't love that? Right, now I might live to regret this, but Nikkia Tutorials in my I followed Nikkia Tutorials tutorial. She did this thing with powder which she said would help your foundation stay on, it would give you more coverage and it would help your foundation stay and last all day long. And it was using a damp sponge, and basically it was taking the powder and then just patting it in all over your face. Now she actually used the Coty Air Spun powder, which is amazing. I got onto that because of Patrick Star, and it is fantastic powder. It does give you a very flawless sort of airbrushed finish, so if you can pick that up. I got mine off eBay for about £8, and it's a huge tub and it is amazing, but I did use it in that video. I've got it in translucent and translucent extra coverage, and fantastic powder. But today I'm going to be using the Ben Nye Rose Petals. So I'm gonna try it with this. I might live to regret it, so I might have to sponge it off. But she basically loads up the damp sponge. I find that quite scary. And then just pats it into the face. And like I said, I used a translucent before, so I'm not sure how this is gonna go. Making me look, I don't know. It is adding coverage and a little bit more pale. I'll probably just maybe put it on and then just kind of brush all over my face with a fluffy brush, just to make sure that any excess has kind of come off. I just really wanted to try it with a different powder, a different colour powder. I really love this one. If you are a pale girl, a pale pink powder like this is really essential, I think. If your skin is feeling a little bit dull, or even just to have a finishing powder, you don't get, like, I'll swatch it. So that's what the powder looks like. And that's on the back of my hand. If I blend that in, it's not like it makes you pink or anything, but it definitely does add a little bit of a pink hue to your face. And for me, for somebody who is pale, and if I'm not well, I just kind of look ghost-like, this just adds I don't know, for me it just brightens me a little bit and just makes me look a bit more alive, which definitely is essential on some days. So yeah, and this definitely does help fill in your pores quite a bit, which I do love. I like to like pop a bit extra onto the textured areas, and I also really like to put it in areas where I get oily, because I think when I did use it, because I have tried this technique a number of times now, following on from using it in that video, because I did think it made an overall difference. And I think that it definitely makes me look a little bit more flawless, and it does make the makeup last longer. And I think that's made such a difference, so I'm a big fan of it. I like to set after I've done it though, because obviously it's a lot of powder, and I like to kind of, the setting spray is going to basically melt the powder together, melt it in my face, and make it look a lot more realistic, a lot less powdery. And the key to helping a setting spray really have lasting power is to fan it off very quickly. Using a piece of paper or whatever, but I am extra. I got this fan a couple of years ago, well, I don't know, probably about 7 years ago now, from River Island. They were selling them in the summer. I love it. It's so beautiful. It was basically, it was on the counter, and I already have like an old one that I've had that my uncle and auntie brought me back when I was about 5 from Spain. And my husband was like, you don't really need another fan. I was like, but this one's so beautiful, and it was £3, and I was like, I have to have it. So I got it, and I'm really glad I did, because I do use that, and I just think it does make a difference. Apparently, if you quickly set the setting spray on your face by using air, then it definitely helps it dry quicker and set a lot better. I don't know if that's true, but Nikki Tutorial said it, so, you know. I'm not saying, you know, that she knows everything, but I do like to follow her hints and tips sometimes. So that is what it looks like so far. I'm really pleased with it. I think that looks really good. So now we're going to go and do some bronzing, and I'm going to use Benefit's Hoola. I've got the Cheek Parade palette from Benefit. These, if anybody is thinking about trying Benefit powders, when you see these come out, these sell really quickly. You've got to be quick. The smell is amazing. I'm not a huge fan of Benefit as a brand, not massively. I mean, I have powders from them and that is it. The boxes of powders are amazing. Highly recommend their blushes. They seem to last all day on my skin, and I sometimes have a problem with that. So I really recommend the powders, but if you can pick up one of these palettes, I think they're about £45. I know that sounds a lot, but these powders retail for £24.50 each, and these are full-size powders, so you get 5 of them in here. For £45 you get over £100 worth of product, so it's definitely worth investing in if you want to try. The first one was the Cheekathon. And I did get that for the Rocketeur actually at the time. I've hit pan on Coralista. It's got Hoola again in here and Dandelion, but again Hoola and Dandelion are my most used powders. And then it's also got Dallas, which I actually like to use right at the back of the cheek to deepen up the contour. So everything in here I would use, and then I wanted to try the Rocketeur in that one at that time. I was a little disappointed that when they did the second one they actually put Rocketeur in again. I really would have loved something else there, like they discontinued the Georgia Peach one, or Georgia, which is a peach powder, which is another great powder for pale girls. Peach to brighten up the skin, it really does make a difference. But yeah, it's a highlighting sort of blush, so it's quite nice to still have it in there. And there's actually a huge dent in Dandelion already in this one because I tend to use it quite a bit. We're going to go ahead and we're going to blush and bronze with this. I don't care for Hoola Light. Nikki Tutorials absolutely loves it, but for me Hoola Light comes out quite orange on me. I don't understand it. So I'm just going to use Hoola, and I love this brush. It's just great for all over the face. I'm just going to bring that into the cheek area and on the outer parts of the face. And I think the reason that I like this brush is because it's so fluffy and it's got such a large head. It really diffuses the powder beautifully, because if I have a smaller brush I'll end up looking quite muddy because I'll end up with too much concentration, particularly around this area. Whereas this brush, I don't know if you can tell there, it's diffused the bronzer out so beautifully, and it's just made it very gentle. Because I'm very fair, I don't want my bronze to be really obvious. I just want it to definitely warm up the face. And then I always pop some on the nose and the chin, because we don't just bronze or tan on the outskirts of the face. So it just brings a bit of colour and life to the face. So this brush I highly recommend. I think it's about £20, but it's a massive investment. You can also do tanning on your body with this one, because as you can see it's really big, but it just really blends out everything so beautifully, so I love that. And I do love Zoeva brushes. I did a video way back in the day about those. So we're going to use Dandelion from this. Dandelion is just really soft. I really like it, and it's a nice pink, but it's not overwhelming. I'm just going to use the Sigma blush brush to apply this. I never think you can see my blush on camera. I don't know if you can, because I don't tend to put a lot on, but I hope you can see that. That is such a beautiful soft pink, which is why there's a dent in this. I just like to apply a little bit at a time and build that up. It is just very soft and it's just very beautiful. So if you do see them bring out any of these, I have two, which seems absolutely ridiculous because now I have 2 Dandelions and 2 Hoolas because they've put it in both. So I hope that the next one they don't put Dandelion and Hoola in. Hopefully not, but we'll see. But yeah, they're just great value, and I would definitely get them again. I actually have the individual boxes, so I have the old school ones where the lid comes off. Now they are on a hinge, but that is my Hoola. I'm huge dent in it, which I'm not sure that you'll see there. Coralista, which I have hit pan on. I love the smell of Coralista. Coralista is such a stunning coral blush. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a coral one. I do need to get Sugar Bomb again because mine, I completely used it. That is the first one that I've used up other than Georgia, which is the peach one, which has been discontinued. It's definitely worth getting the palettes because I know that I will consistently use these, and these are really great for travel in fairness, because in here you do have your contour, highlight and blush shades, and you do have a pink blush and a peach blush in this one particularly, so I do think they're really good for that. Actually I might use just a little bit of Dallas on my F05 because I used to do this and I haven't done it in a while, and that's what this video is about. And put a little bit of Dallas back here. I always use Dallas right at the back of the cheek where you would have a deeper hollow back here. So that just kind of adds a little bit of depth, and I really like that. So, highly recommend. This has turned into a bit of a recommendation video at the same time. Now I'm going to do highlighter and lips. Tootsie Lip Pencil by Colourpop. I put this on just because I have a lot of problem defining my Cupid's bow, and I like to overdraw a little bit on the top lip to make it look a bit bigger. And one of my all-time favourite MAC lipsticks, it is permanent. I am going to do a little video on my favourite permanent MAC lipsticks, but this one is called Really Me. I love Tootsie. It's such a nice cool tone sort of pink shade, as is really me. For my highlight today, I'm going to use the High Cheekbone Highlighter, which is the F03, and the Tapered Highlighter, which is the F35, and I'm going to tell you why I'm using two different ones in a second. But I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora palette. Not everybody's cup of tea again. I know some people, and I disagree, would say that over a certain age you shouldn't wear certain colours. I don't agree with that. I think you should wear what you feel comfortable with and what you like, which is kind of what I put in a post this week on Instagram. Spectral needs to come out on its own in a huge big Jeffree Star style highlighter, because this colour drives me crazy. I love it. It's beautiful. So first we're going to take that. We're going to use the High Cheekbone Highlighter brush. See? Look at that. It's beautiful. It's really pink. This brush totally gives you that control. But then I like to take the other one, the tapered, and give it a little bit of a blend. And from the same palette, I'm going to take Luna, which is what I actually put on my brow bone, which is the silvery colour. I'm going to take the tapered brush, dab it lightly in, and do a little bit up here. I don't like too much highlight up here. I don't think it looks super natural to have it up there, but I do see the warrant of it because you would shine there. And nose and Cupid's bow with the silver. And then I'm going to go in with the silver and just pop that on there as well, because I like to shine like the roof of the Chrysler Building. Does anybody know which musical that's from? Well, it's from a film, but I don't know if it's in the actual musical. I can't remember because it's so long since I've seen it. And I want this floor to shine like the roof of the Chrysler Building. Yes. So I like diffusing it. I love that the High Cheekbone highlighter will lay down a really lot of highlighter. It will lay down a good solid amount, and I love that about it. But what I love about the tapered brush is really great to kind of blend that out and diffuse it a little bit more. I mean, I know I've gone a little bit on the crazy side. Yeah, you can always use your fingers to dampen it down anyway. But I love how this kind of blends it out and diffuses it. It's just super, super pretty. I don't think there is such a thing as too much highlight. Really, just to be clear. Excuse the hair. It's a little on the messy side. But, you know, if you've been with me for a while, you would be used to that because, you know, I do the messy hair thing. So I'm going to use the Avon Magix Prime Onset Spray. Now what you can do as well, because it's a pink lipstick, and it's something that I definitely do, I'll do it, but I'm going to add a little bit of the Spectral onto the lip, because that is matte. Just adds a little bit of shine. It's quite nice in the centre of the lip. So that is the finished look. I've really enjoyed revisiting some products I haven't used in a while, revisiting some brushes, trying out some new techniques, really loving the powder on the sponge technique. Glad that I revisited the brow product because I really like how that looks. I need to start using these highlighting brushes more because I love how the highlight looks. Not that I don't like the fan, but I think it just gives it a more diffused, blended, softer look. But yeah, I am really pleased with that look. It's ages since I've done anything like this on the eyes, so I'm really happy with that as well. The palette is great, it's very pigmented, and I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's been quite waffly and all over the place, but it's kind of just a bit of a trip back down memory lane whilst trying some new products kind of video. I'm impressed with the concealer. It's given me really nice coverage over the red areas, which is great, and that's it. So thank you very much for watching as always. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I will love and leave you and see you in the next video. I used to say that before, I don't say it anymore. I apologise. I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.